Have you ever wanted to jump into a conversation with a native English speaker and sound relaxed, natural, and confident instead of stiff and rehearsed? Welcome to Bella Podcast English. Today we're doing something a little different and a lot practical. We're going to practice everyday English together so you can chat like a native, feel more comfortable in real conversations, and actually enjoy speaking. In this episode, you will learn simple, powerful habits that make your English sound natural, everyday phrases you can use right away, how to listen like a native, and practical exercises you can do in 5 minutes or less. I'll bust common myths that hold learners back, explain why certain techniques work, and give you step-by-step practice routines you can start today. Ready to talk like a native? Let's get into it. First, let's clear up what sounding like a native really means. Many people think it means perfect grammar and a flawless accent. But in real life, native speakers make mistakes, use shortcuts, and rely on simple patterns. Sounding natural is more about rhythm, common phrases, and the way ideas are connected than about flawless grammar. Think of language like music. You don't need to play every note perfectly to enjoy the song. You need to feel the beat, know the common chords, and play with confidence. So what are the building blocks of natural conversation? There are 5 main pieces: small talk, common phrases and chunks, rhythm and intonation, listening and responding, and repair strategies when things go wrong. We'll go through each one with examples and practical practice you can do right now. Let's start with small talk. Small talk gets a bad reputation, but it's the grease that keeps conversations moving. It's how people warm up, find common ground, and decide whether to keep talking. Small talk topics are simple: weather, weekend plans, work, food, and local events. The trick is not to memorize lines, but to learn patterns. For example, instead of saying a long sentence like "I went to the store yesterday and bought some apples," native speakers often use short, natural chunks like "I grabbed some apples yesterday." Or when someone asks, "How was your weekend?" you can answer with a short pattern plus a detail. "Try it was great. I went hiking up at Bear Creek." That extra detail gives the other person something to ask about. Here's a quick practice you can do right now. Think of 3 small talk questions you can ask today. Keep them short and open-ended. For example, how's your week going? What did you do over the weekend? Have you tried any new restaurants lately? Say them out loud until they feel comfortable. Then practice answering them with a short pattern plus 1 detail. "Not bad, pretty busy with work, but I did try a new taco place on Sunday." Short, natural, and easy to follow. Now let's talk about common phrases and chunks. Native speakers rarely speak word by word. They use chunks, groups of words that go together. Learning chunks is faster than learning individual words because chunks carry meaning and rhythm. Examples include "I'm not sure," "That sounds great," "Let me think," "I'll get back to you," and "What do you mean?" When you learn these as whole units, you don't have to build sentences from scratch in the middle of a conversation. Try this exercise. Pick 5 chunks from that list. Repeat each one 5 times, then use each one in a short sentence. For example, I'm not sure if I can make it on Friday." "That sounds great, I'd love to join." Doing this helps your mouth and brain link the sound and meaning together. A common myth is that you must learn perfect grammar before you speak. That's not true. Grammar helps, but fluency comes from using language. Think of grammar as the scaffolding, not the building. Use simple grammar correctly and focus on communicating. Over time, your grammar will improve naturally through use. Research and language learning experts often point out that speaking and retrieval practice help consolidate language faster than passive study alone. So speak, make mistakes, and learn from them. Next, rhythm and intonation. This is where a lot of learners feel stuck because it's subtle. Rhythm is the pattern of stressed and unstressed syllables. Intonation is the rise and fall of your voice. Together, they make speech sound natural. English often reduces unstressed words and links sounds between words. For example, "I'm going to the store" becomes "I'm gonna go to the store" in casual speech. Or "what are you going to do" becomes "whatcha gonna do." These reductions are not sloppy. They are part of natural speech. A practical way to practice rhythm is shadowing. Shadowing means listening to a short sentence and repeating it immediately, matching the speaker's rhythm and intonation. Start with short clips from podcasts, TV shows, or YouTube. Pick a sentence, listen, and repeat. Don't worry about understanding every word at first. Focus on copying the sound and rhythm. Do this for 5 minutes a day, and you'll notice your speech becoming smoother. Let's try a short shadowing exercise together. Say after me, I'm gonna grab a coffee. Now say it again, but faster and more relaxed. I'm gonna grab a coffee. Notice how the words link together. Now try, I'll catch up with you later. Say it naturally, I'll catch up with you later. Practice these until they feel comfortable. Pronunciation tips are helpful too. American English has some common sounds that learners find tricky. The R sound, the TH sounds, and the flap T are good examples. The R sound is made with the tongue pulled back slightly and the lips rounded. The TH sound, as in think, is made by placing the tongue between the teeth and blowing air gently. The TH sound, as in this, uses the same tongue position, but with voice. The flap T is the quick D-like sound in words like better and water in American English. Practicing minimal pairs helps. Minimal pairs are word pairs that differ by one sound, like ship and sheep, or bat and bet. Practicing these helps your ear and mouth notice small differences. Now let's move to listening and responding. Good conversation is half listening. Active listening means showing interest, asking follow-up questions, and paraphrasing what the other person said. Simple phrases for active listening include "oh, really?" "no way," "that's interesting," "tell me more," and "so you mean that." These phrases keep the conversation flowing and give you time to think. A useful technique is the three-step response. First, acknowledge what the person said. Second, add a short comment or feeling. Third, ask a follow-up question. For example, if someone says, "I started a new job last week," you could respond, "Nice, congratulations, how's it going so far?" That pattern keeps things natural and friendly. Let's practice repair strategies. Conversations don't always go smoothly. You might not understand a word, or you might say something wrong. Repair strategies are simple phrases that help you fix the conversation without embarrassment. Examples include, "Sorry, could you say that again? I didn't catch that. What does that mean? Can you explain that in another way? And I'm still learning English. Could you slow down a bit?" Native speakers are usually happy to help when you ask politely. Here's a quick role play you can try alone or with a partner. Imagine you're at a coffee shop and the barista asks, "What can I get for you?" Practice 3 different responses: a simple order, a small change, and a clarification. For example, "I'll have a medium latte, please. Could I get almond milk instead of regular milk?" "Sorry, what sizes do you have?" Practicing these short interactions builds confidence for real life. Now let's talk about vocabulary and collocations. Collocations are words that naturally go together, like make a decision, take a break, or heavy rain. Learning collocations helps your speech sound natural because native speakers use these combinations automatically. Instead of learning single words, learn words in context. For example, instead of memorizing the word decision, learn make a decision, reach a decision, and decision-making process. A practical tip is to keep a collocation notebook. When you hear a phrase you like, write it down with a short example sentence. Review these weekly using spaced repetition. Spaced repetition is a proven method where you review information at increasing intervals to move it into long-term memory. Apps can help, but a simple paper notebook works too. Let's bust a myth about vocabulary. Many learners think they need to learn thousands of words to speak well. In reality, a few thousand high-frequency words cover most everyday conversations. Focus on the words and phrases you actually use. Learn them in chunks, practice them in sentences, and use them in real conversations. Next up, phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs are combinations of a verb and a particle like look up, get over, or run into. They are everywhere in spoken English and can be confusing because their meaning often changes. For example, look up can mean search for information or literally look upward. The key is to learn common phrasal verbs in context and practice them in sentences. Start with a small list of the most common ones and use them in your daily speech. Here are 10 phrasal verbs to start with. Get up, wake up, look for, look after, give up, put on, take off, run into, pick up, and drop off. Make short sentences with each one. For example, I usually get up at 7. I need to look for my keys. I ran into an old friend yesterday. Practicing these will make your speech sound more natural. Let's talk about fillers and hesitation devices. Native speakers use fillers like well, you know, and like to buy time while thinking. These are not mistakes, they are tools. Using them appropriately makes your speech sound natural. The trick is not to overuse them and to combine them with useful phrases like let me think, that's a good question, or I'm not sure, but. These give you time to organize your thoughts without sounding awkward. A simple exercise is to practice pausing with a filler and then giving a short answer. For example, if someone asks, "What do you think about remote work?" you can say, "I think it's great for flexibility, but it can be isolating." Practicing this helps you sound natural and thoughtful. Now let's cover cultural notes and small talk etiquette. In the United States, people often use small talk to build rapport. Topics like weather, sports, food, and weekend plans are safe. Avoid very personal topics like salary, politics, or religion unless you know the person well. Compliments are common and usually accepted graciously. If someone compliments you, a simple "thank you," "that's kind of you," or "I appreciate that" works well. When disagreeing, Americans often use softening language to avoid sounding rude. Phrases like "I see your point, but I'm not sure I agree," or "that's interesting, I had a different experience" help keep the conversation polite. Using hedges like "maybe," "kind of," or "sort of" also softens statements and makes them sound more natural. Let's practice a polite disagreement. Try saying, "I see what you mean, but I think there's another way to look at it." Or "That's a good point, I just wonder if we could also consider this." These patterns help you express a different opinion without creating tension. Next, storytelling. Telling short stories is a powerful way to connect. Native speakers often use a simple structure: setup, event, and reaction. For example, setup: "Last weekend I went hiking." Event: "I got lost for a bit and found a hidden waterfall." Reaction: "It was amazing and totally worth the extra walk." Keep stories short and include 1 or 2 sensory details to make them vivid. Practice telling a short story about a recent experience in under a minute. Now let's talk about phone calls and voice-only conversations. Without visual cues, you need to be extra clear. Start with a greeting and your name, state the purpose, and ask if it's a good time. For example, "Hi, this is Maria, I'm calling about the appointment tomorrow. Is now a good time?" Use short sentences and confirm details by repeating them back. For example, "So the appointment is at 3 on Tuesday, right?" Repeating helps avoid misunderstandings. A common fear is speaking on the phone. Practice by leaving short voice messages for yourself or friends. Record a 1-minute update about your day and listen back. This helps you get used to your voice and improves clarity. Let's cover making plans and invitations. Native speakers use casual, flexible language. Instead of a formal "Would you like to join me for coffee?" you might hear "Want to grab coffee this weekend?" Or "How about coffee on Saturday?" Use options and suggest times. For example, "Want to meet Saturday morning or Sunday afternoon?" Giving choices makes it easier for the other person to say yes. If you need to decline, be polite and offer an alternative. For example, "I can't make Saturday, but I'm free Sunday afternoon." Or "Thanks for the invite, I have plans, but let's do something next week." This keeps the connection positive. Now a practical section on building a daily practice routine. You don't need hours a day. Small, consistent habits beat occasional long sessions. Here's a simple 20-minute daily routine you can start today. 5 minutes of listening practice, 5 minutes of shadowing, 5 minutes of speaking or recording, and 5 minutes of vocabulary review. Listening practice can be a short podcast or a YouTube clip. Shadowing is repeating sentences to match rhythm. Speaking can be describing your day out loud or recording a 1-minute story. Vocabulary review can be reviewing 5 collocations or phrasal verbs. If you have more time, add a 10-minute conversation with a language partner or tutor twice a week. The key is consistency. Even 5 minutes every day adds up quickly. Let's talk about tools and resources. Use podcasts, YouTube channels, and TV shows aimed at everyday language. Choose content that matches your level and interests. For beginners, look for slow, clear speech and transcripts. For intermediate learners, choose short scenes or interviews and focus on shadowing. Language exchange apps are great for real conversations, but pick partners who are patient and willing to correct you gently. Tutors can give targeted feedback, especially on pronunciation and grammar patterns. A useful tip is to use transcripts and subtitles strategically. First, listen without subtitles to get the gist. Then listen with subtitles and follow along. Finally, shadow short sentences without looking. This 3-step approach trains your ear, reading, and speaking. Now I want to bust a few myths that hold people back. Myth 1, you must have a native accent to be understood. Not true. Clarity matters more than accent. Focus on clear pronunciation and rhythm. Myth 2, you need to study grammar for years before speaking. Not true. Use simple grammar and speak. Grammar will improve through use. Myth 3, mistakes are bad. Not true. Mistakes are learning opportunities. Native speakers expect learners to make mistakes and usually appreciate the effort. Let's talk about confidence and mindset. Speaking a new language can feel vulnerable. A helpful mindset is to be curious rather than perfect. Ask questions, show interest, and accept that mistakes are part of the process. Celebrate small wins like finishing a short conversation or using a new phrase correctly. Confidence grows with practice and positive experiences. Here's a quick mental trick. Before a conversation, take 3 deep breaths and remind yourself of one simple goal, like ask 2 questions or use one new phrase. Small goals are easier to achieve and build momentum. Now we'll go deeper into pronunciation practice with a few targeted exercises. First, minimal pairs. Pick 5 pairs like ship and sheep, bat and bet, cat and cut, seat and sit, and live and leave. Say each pair slowly, then faster, then use each word in a short sentence. This trains your ear and mouth. Second, sentence stress practice. Choose a sentence like I didn't say you stole the money. Change the stress to emphasize different words and notice how the meaning changes. For example, I didn't say you stole the money means someone else said it. I didn't say you stole the money implies someone else stole it. I didn't say you stole the money suggests I said something else. Practicing stress helps you convey meaning and emotion. Third, linking and reductions. Practice linking words like want to becoming wanna, going to becoming gonna, and I would have becoming I'd have in casual speech. Use these in short sentences and notice how they flow. Now let's practice conversation starters and follow-ups. A good starter is a simple observation plus a question. For example, I love your jacket, where did you get it? Or that coffee shop has great music, do you come here often? Follow-ups are key. If someone says yes, I come here every weekend, you can ask what do you usually order or who do you usually come with. Follow-ups show interest and keep the conversation going. Another useful pattern is the opinion sandwich. Start with a positive, give your opinion, then ask for theirs. For example, I like that idea. I think it could work if we adjust the schedule. What do you think? This pattern is polite and collaborative. Let's cover how to handle silence. Silence in conversation is normal. Use it to think and then respond with a short phrase like let me think, that's a good question, or I'm not sure, but. Pauses can make you sound thoughtful rather than awkward. Now a section on feedback and self-correction. Recording yourself is one of the fastest ways to improve. Record a 1-minute summary of your day, then listen and note 3 things: 1 pronunciation to improve, 1 phrase to use again, and 1 strength. Focus on small, specific improvements. If you have a tutor or language partner, ask for targeted feedback on one area like pronunciation or linking. Let's talk about social media and immersion. Follow creators who speak naturally and match your interests. Watch short clips and repeat phrases. Use captions to learn new chunks. But don't binge passive watching. Active practice like shadowing and speaking is what builds fluency. Now I want to share a simple, practical challenge you can do for the next 7 days. Day 1, practice 5 small talk questions and answers. Day 2, shadow 5 short sentences for 5 minutes. Day 3, record a 1-minute story and listen back. Day 4, learn 5 collocations and use them in sentences. Day 5, practice 5 phrasal verbs in short dialogues. Day 6, have a 5-minute conversation with a language partner or tutor. Day 7, review your recordings and celebrate progress. This challenge builds habits and gives you measurable wins. If you're finding this episode helpful, I have a small favor to ask. If you like what you're hearing, please like the video, subscribe to Bella Podcast English, and share this episode with a friend who's learning English. Sharing helps us reach more learners and keeps this content coming. It also helps you by creating a little accountability loop. When you share, you're more likely to stick with the practice. Back to practical tips. When you meet new people, use their name. People love hearing their name and it helps you remember it. Repeat the name once in the conversation. For example, nice to meet you, Sarah. How long have you lived here, Sarah? This simple trick builds rapport. If you're nervous about speaking, start with low-stakes environments. Order food, ask for directions, or make small talk with a cashier. These short interactions are great practice and low pressure. Over time, move to longer conversations. Let's discuss polite interruptions and turn-taking. In group conversations, wait for a natural pause to speak. If you need to interrupt, use a soft opener like "sorry to jump in" or "can I add something?" These phrases are polite and accepted in American conversation. Now a quick section on idioms. Idioms are colorful and common in everyday speech. Start with a few useful ones like break the ice, hit the books, piece of cake, and under the weather. Use them sparingly and make sure you understand the meaning. Idioms add flavor but can confuse listeners if overused. Next, workplace English. Meetings often use phrases like circle back, touch base, take this offline, and run it by someone. Learn these business chunks and practice them in short role plays. For example, let's circle back on this after lunch. Can you touch base with the client? These phrases help you sound natural in professional settings. Now let's talk about expressing feelings and opinions. Simple phrases work best. I feel like, I think that, I'm not sure, I'm excited about, and I'm worried about are all useful. Combine them with short reasons. For example, I'm excited about the project because it's creative. I'm worried about the deadline because we're short on time. Clear, honest language builds trust. A common question is how to expand vocabulary without memorizing long lists. The answer is reading and listening with purpose. Choose short articles or podcasts on topics you enjoy. When you find a new word, write it in a sentence you would actually use. Review these sentences regularly. This method is more effective than memorizing isolated words. Now a few quick tips for travel English. Learn key phrases for airports, hotels, and restaurants. For example, where is the check-in desk? Could I have a non-smoking room? Can I get the bill, please? Practice these until they feel automatic. Also learn how to ask for help politely. For example, excuse me, could you help me with directions? Thank you so much. Let's finish with motivation and long-term strategy. Language learning is a marathon, not a sprint. Set realistic goals, celebrate small wins, and keep your practice consistent. Mix fun activities with focused practice. Talk about topics you love because passion makes practice easier. Before we wrap up, I want to give you a few extra practice routines you can rotate through each week. Routine A is conversation focus. Spend 10 minutes shadowing, 10 minutes recording a 1-minute story, and 10 minutes chatting with a partner. Routine B is pronunciation focus. Spend 10 minutes on minimal pairs, 10 minutes on sentence stress, and 10 minutes on linking and reductions. Routine C is vocabulary focus. Spend 10 minutes reading a short article, 10 minutes writing 5 example sentences, and 10 minutes reviewing collocations. Rotate these routines so you cover all skills without burning out. Summary time. Today we covered small talk, chunks and collocations, rhythm and intonation, listening and responding, repair strategies, pronunciation practice, phrasal verbs, fillers, cultural notes, storytelling, phone calls, making plans, daily routines, tools, myths, confidence, and a 7-day challenge. The most important idea is this. Practice in short, consistent bursts, focus on natural chunks, and use real conversations as your classroom. One simple action you can take right now is to record a 1-minute voice note describing your day and send it to a friend or save it for yourself. Listen back and pick one thing to improve tomorrow. That single step builds habit, awareness, and confidence. You've got this. Keep practicing, be curious, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every conversation is progress. Thanks for spending this time with me. If you liked this episode, remember to like, subscribe to Bella Podcast English, and share it with a friend. I'll be back with more practical tips and friendly practice. Take care, keep talking, and goodbye.